Well, YouTube, an era is coming to an end. Matthew Patrick is officially retiring as the host of the Theorists Network and his 4 channels. Well, I guess their 4 channels. They're not really just his. And to be perfectly honest, I'm sad. Like, I started watching Game Theory when it more or less started. Like, I've been watching Game Theory for 13 years. I legitimately was there in the first year of Game Theory. I have seen literally every single episode of Game Theory, all 666 of them. Yeah, Matt Pat announced that he was retiring on episode 666. Truly evil. And let me tell you, those early episodes are rough. But when you think about it, it was just, this 24-year-old kid who didn't really know what was going on with anything, just doing something that he was passionate about. And that really resonated with me, being, a 21-year-old kid who didn't have any idea what was going on and was searching for something that he was passionate about. Now, across the time where Matt was the host of The Theorists, I have lived in 4 different houses. I have owned, actually, 4 different cars. I have been through 2.5 relationships, and then found the relationship that would become my marriage. Like, all kinds of things were in flux throughout my entire time. For the past 13 years, in fact. But there was always a constant. I could always be there for Matt's next theory. And it would always be Matt. Now, I have become an entirely different person in those 13 years. And honestly, it feels like Matt has too. I mean, the channels are entirely different than what they started with. It's still the same premise, but they have evolved so much more than what they were. And my relationship with Matt Pat is entirely parasocial, and I realize this, but he puts so much of himself into these videos that it's really difficult not to be, and not to, believe that he is the person that he presents. I mean, obviously, it's heightened. I mean, when you're on screen, everything is heightened. When that camera is on, I'm me, but I'm me dialed up to 11. Sometimes I'm dialed up to friggin' 20, but that's neither here nor there. But I feel like if I were to have met Matt in person, he and I would have become friends very quickly, because just from what I see of him, he seems like the kind of person that I would just gel with and just be that guy, I mean, after all, I was there when he launched Film Theory, and that was a natural progression from Game Theory, because film and game is so similar in a lot of ways. A lot of ways? A lot of ways. And then I was there scratching my head when they announced Food Theory. Because, what the hell? That was right out of left field, But they made it work. And I was curious and optimistic when they launched Style Theory. I was there day one when Matt Pat released the video called The Most Important Video I've Ever Made, where he announced that Stephanie was pregnant with their son Ollie. And I've been watching that little dude grow, and I know it sounds really weird for some guy that doesn't even know this guy to be in this sort of state, but I don't know. I feel like I know him even not knowing him. And that is pretty much the definition of parasocial. Like I said, parasocial bias is very important, and yeah, he's not a guy that I know, but I feel like I do. I've said that like 3 times now. Moving on. I feel as though MatPat's departure is similar to the death of Walt Disney. And that may seem a little bit weird at first, but hear me out. When Walt Disney died, I was watching a documentary, and when Walt Disney died, the other theme park Imagineers just kind of came together and said, all right, well, now we see how much of our jobs Walt did for us. And I feel like that's kind of going to be the same deal here. Because Walt was the face of the brand. Matt is the face of the brand. Walt had creative direction over everything, as Matt does as well. So it's sort of the same deal. But one of the things that we also have to take into account is after Walt Disney, we had the 90s. We had the Disney Renaissance. We have some of the most iconic stories ever being put to film. And I can say that wholeheartedly. I can put my whole ass into that statement. Because it's true. Like, if I say Beauty and the Beast, everyone knows what I'm talking about. And they all think of Walt Disney's Beauty and the Beast. Despite it being a story that's been, passed down for generation upon generation upon generation before Disney got it. So, yes, I can say that with all soul. I'm getting off topic, aren't I? But, yeah, Matt's departure doesn't mean a drop in quality. It will definitely be a drop in viewership for a while, but time heals wounds. And generally speaking, I think we'll be okay. Plus, he'll still be around. We've got a few more weeks of him, just as the face of the brand. And that he and Steph will still be, the main consultants on the channel for at least some time now. And don't think I've forgotten about Stephanie, because Stephanie does just as much as Matt does. She just does it off camera. Matt may be the face of the brand, but Stephanie is the soul. She is the heart. She's the lifeblood. Personally, I'm going to miss him. But I'm not going to let it affect me too negatively. I'm going to party with him for the next few weeks that he has, and I'm going to look forward to what the next generation has. Is it sad? Yes, it is very sad. But I find that a lot of the time, only things that make you really happy can make you really sad. It's the old adage, don't cry because it's gone, smile because it was there. That sort of thing. So, I'm going to keep that and cherish it to a degree. And, in fact, this is advice that I can use myself sometimes. Don't be afraid to feel. And that can be difficult, particularly for a guy like me, but that is the best advice I can give for this sort of thing. Don't be afraid to feel, keep the hurt, and cherish the good that came before it. So, that's the now aspect, and that's the part that everyone's fixated on. But the question is, what about the future? What's going to happen next? First of all, Santi, Amy, Lee, Tom, best of luck. I really wish you the best of luck, and I'm really excited to see what you guys get up to. You guys are going to have a rough time at first because the internet does not like change at all. But press on. When you look at other channels, Smosh, for example, they got so much hate when Anthony left. You know, when Anthony left and they started adding new cast members, they got so much pushback. It was insane. And then they even got pushback when Anthony came back. We don't like change. That's the main thing here. But Smosh has been one of the most successful channels on this entire platform for God only knows how long now. They were number one for the longest time even. So just kind of press on, you know? Eventually people will come around. I'm particularly concerned for Tom and Amy because Tom, he's taking over the baby. He's taken over the established one, the one that has been there the longest. You know, everyone is on game theory. So that's going to be a big one right there. And Amy, she's taking over the newest one. You know, the one that doesn't really have a niche yet. So yeah, she's going to definitely have her work cut out for her. And I hate to say it, she is a woman. And it's more difficult sometimes. Don't come after me because it's true. Women in fashion channels, all over the place, dime a dozen. But women in fashion channels that were originally started with a man as the face of the brand and are part of the Theorist network, you're going to have a lot of eyes on you, and a lot of them are going to be hate-filled. But if you can take that and you can keep rolling, do so. But in the end, just remember, don't let words get to you. Be you. Be cool. Do your thing. People will come around. People will enjoy it. That's really what it comes down to. And now, to do a little theorizing of my own. So, something Matt announced in his Goodbye Internet video was a fashion show for creators that they are presenting through Style Theory. It is Creators in Fashion presented by Style Theory, or hosted by Style Theory, something. And I believe, my gut tells me that that is the beginning of the next chapter for the entire Theorist brand, not just Style Theory. Consider the channels like People, right? I know how that sounds, but you've got Game Theory, you know, the old one, the veteran, the one that's been around a few times. He's seen some shit. And then you've got Film Theory, the late 30s, you know, adult that has found itself and has progressed and is what it is now, you know? And then you've got Food Theory, who's your early 20s, who's still experimenting with things, but in general has a pretty good grasp on who they are and is just kind of progressing with that. And then you've got Style Theory. Style Theory is like your mid-teens kind of channel, and they are not afraid to experiment, or they're going and doing this, and if that doesn't work, they're going to try this, and if that doesn't work, they're going to try this, and that one works. Let's do more of that because that's fun, and I'm having the time of my life right now because I'm a teenager and I can. I missed that. Anyway, so now Style Theory is trying something. They are trying their hand at events. And if this event does well, which why the hell wouldn't it? Because there is no, like, creator-based fashion show, then they can expand. They can do it again. They can make it an annual thing. You know? The third annual Creators in Fashion presented by Style Theory, you know, the 20th annual, whatever. It can keep going. And then the teenager can teach the old guard. And then food theory can step up and say, you know, this is working. We have so many creators in the baking space, in the food-based area. Could we potentially have like a food and wine festival a la Disney? Or just a food festival in general? We could get Greg from How to Drink. We can get Rosanna Pansino. She's already got rapport with the whole Theorist brand. And have that sort of thing go on. And then creator film festivals presented by Film Theory. Let's see here. Do we know of any YouTube creators that are making movies? Maybe more have movies in them that they don't really have the space to show off. Outside of YouTube, that is. That could give them one. Game theory, admittedly, is one of the more difficult ones for me to think of events for, because it's video games. Video games are such a broad category as far as that goes. They could potentially host tournaments, a la Ludwig's Smashboxing. They could host, like, indie game festivals where creators like Lixian or Rubber Ross or those kinds of guys, they come in and they show you their newest projects, that sort of thing. But yeah, they can workshop it. It's the Theorists. They can figure something out for that. But then all four of them come together and create TheoryCon. TheoryCon is a place where they just go and they rent out a stadium for a weekend. And they have style theory, food theory, film theory, and game theory all there. You can meet the cast and crew. You can meet people behind the scenes of all of these projects. You can meet other YouTubers of all sizes, because we're all creators. You can do your networking. You can play some awesome games. You can eat some awesome food. Watch some incredible videos. Check out all of the greatest fashion that's coming out of the creator space. And you can do that all in one place. So I believe that to be the future of the entire Theorist brand. So that is what I have to say about all of that. Guys, I wish you the best of luck. Don't let words get you down. Press on, do your thing. We will come around and continue doing your events. Let's make a TheoryCon. We'll miss you, Matt. We really will. But the future has never looked brighter. But hey, it's just a theory. A theorist theory. Thank you, Matt. Oh, my eyes are watering. I'm done.